Hi, how are you? Give me a thumbs up if this sound is working. This is the Drunk Hangover Special, and no, I'm not drunk or hungover. Simply fell asleep early because I had a very long day. I woke up to a whole bunch of notifications. It's 998 Shark Gaming. Hi, Mr. Shark Gaming and T Case. But I went to bed early and I made my decaf. And I was getting a lot of notifications that my channel was active at like 2 in the morning, because here it's 2:42 a.m. here in South Florida. I've got the sexiest coffee mug in the world. It's a lot sexier than yours, I promise. And I was supposed to go on last night at 8 o'clock, but there was a big, gigantic storm. Hello, Charlene Chester. And the electricity went out like 3 or 4 times, and I was going to have another call-in guest who had called in the previous day, and it didn't work because the storm came. Why up so early? I fell asleep early. I worked out in the sun with my part-time gig / therapy that I do. And having not worked I used to work in the oil fields, like 10, 12, 14-hour days, like my whole life out in the muck and the sun, and I was used to it, but I haven't done that in a couple of years, and so I'm not used to it anymore. And yes, I'm a weenie, so I'm going to add some oat milk because I don't drink cow pus anymore. So anyways, Eileen, I'm doing well. Norma Jean 7. Hello, Kayla. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too. I'm going to start putting some of y'all up there. How many of you who are in here currently right now know or saw the very first live I did 2 days ago now, day and a half, 2 days ago, where I learned how to have callers or learn how to have people video chat in? Andrew Lamont finally made one of these lives. Caleb, you're a legend. Well, I don't know about that, but thanks for making it. I noticed a lot of people were Jamar Golson, me. I noticed a lot of people are just commenting on my channel at like 2 in the morning. I thought, what the hell? I had to cancel last night, so I thought I'd just hop on here and just see what happened at 2 a.m. or 2:42 a.m. If you're in California, it's only midnight, almost 1, or it's 11, so it's not too late for y'all. If you're in England, it's probably more like 8 a.m. on Sunday, which would make it, well, even for us, it's Father's Day. And I'm going to be going on later today, which is the scheduled one, the rescheduled one, and have a man by the name of Edward who phoned in, and he's having some audio problems. And so I thought I'd hop on here, just say hello. So I'm going to do what DSD Dwayne told me was insane and put the link in the description or in the comment section. And if you are drunk and want to confess your sins to the high priest, me, just kidding, I'm not a priest. And I'm just kidding. If you're drunk, then, well, I'd kind of like to talk to you because I don't have to be around you. I can just kind of like talk to you. We can all laugh at you. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm coming up on, hang on. Copy. I'm coming up on 2 years of sobriety myself. And yeah, coming up, there it is. I'm going to start so y'all can see it. I'm coming up on two years of sobriety myself. It's absolutely the coolest thing I've ever done. Probably right up there with probably even better than cutting the 4 umbilical cords of those 4 little darling children of mine. Parker, Hayden, Blaine, and London. 8 a.m. in UK. Okay. I kind of thought so. John Harrison. Hello from Northwest Oklahoma. It's a 99 Shark. I'm too young to drink. Good. Stay that way. Even when you're old enough, stay too young to drink because it's not worth it. If you want to talk about that, I'd be happy to. Talk about my recovery, how I don't do things in general like most people, and I sure as hell didn't, go through AA or anything like that. Again, not shitting on AA. Here we go. John Harrison's a proud stoner. Well, I'd much rather be around a bunch of stoners than I would be around a bunch of drunks. Hey, is this the same? Is that the same Edward that called in? That's the man who's going to be calling in later. I mean, if you want to, I guess you can call now, but we're gonna have him on. If he doesn't right now, we're gonna have him on tonight at 8 o'clock. Kara, hello. There's the infamous question. Elijah Wetter, he's great. And my kids have private lives, and I don't talk about it. Totally normal. I guess that's hi. John Harrison, amen, brother. I'll tell myself that all the time. Not sure what that means. So any of y'all, if y'all want to hop on here, you're welcome to. Had like 8 or 9 people waiting in line last time, but then again, it was the first time and it was in the middle of the day, and maybe you are really drunk and you don't want to show your ass. I wouldn't. Back in those drunk days, it was awful. Being addicted to that crap, the only way I could sleep. I'll be here today. Perfect, man. Looking forward to it. And what he's talking about is, and he was having some audio, and I'm about 99% sure I know what he's talking about. About a month or 2 ago, I had the idea for doing what I'm doing now, except I didn't know this software, this StreamYard, actually existed. And what my plan was to have people call in here who find themselves currently in roughly the position that I was all those years ago. Broke, scared, divorced, got a lot of little kids, little cheerings, depending on you, mom, or you, dad, to be there, and the family court is coming down on you like a ton of bricks. And it always comes down to money. And people, it would have been nice if I would have had someone to talk to. I didn't really have anybody to talk to. My friends and family just didn't understand what my mission was. I lost a lot of family and friends because of what I did. But you know what I didn't lose? My kids know their dad. They may be at some point able to or want to say or feel like saying, the bad choices I made, staying drunk for 7 years, etc. Any a myriad of others, who knows? But one thing they can never say is they don't know their dad, because they do. They know me. Like me or love me, they know me. Well, here we got an honest one. Totally normal. I am drunk, but I am high as the clouds in the sky, brother. Well, if I had to say, if you're going to pick one or the other, stay high as the clouds in the sky. That alcohol is going to put you in an early grave, dude. You got one liver, and there's no such thing as cleansing it, whatever they call it, like they do for your kidneys. You can get a liver transplant if you're lucky. And if they know you're an alcoholic, then you don't qualify. Little incentive there. Take care of yourself. Hey, I had a new record. I got down to 187 pounds. Bitches. Started out in August 2021. Made a video of my fat ass at busting out at 221 pounds. I'm only 6 feet tall. For those of you who just joined the stream that missed my fancy schmancy mug, this is my Chulu mug. And I promise it is sexier than your mug. A friend of mine on Facebook made that. She's got an Etsy store. Here we go. Lindsay. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Family court is evil. Evil. You are such an inspiration. Going on 7 years in the family court. So proud of you. Looking great. Well, what are you doing? Oh, you've always kept strange hours just like me. Lindsay and I are buddies. What happened to Praker? I don't know. Who's Praker? Just kidding. I know you meant Parker. He grew up into a stud. He is a young, tough stud. And I don't talk about their personal lives, but I'm open about this, and he's fine with it. He is a professional horse trainer. He's the best, among the best of the best at what he does now. He is tough as boot leather. As many of you saw back in the day, he went through hell, and he's just good now. Life's much better than it was. He specializes in breaking colts. Back to the next model collection. I retired. Okay, yeah, this is Edward's going to be on tonight. I'm retired Army vet in DOD for over 20 years. I didn't have the luxury of relaxing my brain of constant stress of the system. That is exactly where so many of us find ourselves. When the normal human being in a race or an organized sport gets the opportunity to have a timeout or race or a relax or something, catch their breath. When you're involved in family court, many times you don't get that. You're constrained to the edicts of the people in the black robes that claim to have ownership over you and know better than you how to raise your own children. And even if you're broke and have to go to a job, you still got to show up on their terms. Eric Buonomo, 43 million. Oh, is that the Parker view? Yeah, that sucker's way up there. That's the Parker movie. That's the views in the Parker movie, I think is what he's talking about. Sucker's way up there. Eric, did you just find this channel by just out of curiosity? How good did it feel to get your son back from your ex-wife? I don't talk about my ex-wives other than, the obvious. And it's always a good time, a good feeling when you get your kids. It always is. There's no doubt about it. So I took 4 years of my time learning the law and our rights they violate every day. Yep. If you can learn it in 4 years, I mean, it's what these family courts do it is literally criminal. That's not an exaggeration. It's criminal. You are guilty until proven innocent. One allegation, any allegation, he did this to our child. She did this to our child. Oh, well, it's in the best interest of the children. Bam. Restraining order. Suddenly, your job as the parent with your designated time just gets yanked until you can get through to court. And good luck getting a speedy trial. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. They'll get to you when they get to you. In the meantime, you're just screwed. Your kids get to go for weeks or months, sometime even a year before you go back to court. They get to go all that time without mom or without dad, whoever's had the restraining order put on. And so a year for an adult, it's not nearly as big a deal as it is when you're a child. When you're 4 years old and have to wait a whole year to see your dad, that's a quarter of your life when you're still growing. Flash says, I'm a cool dude. I don't know about that. I'm the coolest dork you'll ever meet. I can promise you that. So for the first time, they're afraid to talk to me. The kids, I'm not. Maybe I missed a comment there. Eric Bonomo, Caleb, did you have any idea that the video would become so popular? Nope, I hadn't a clue. When I uploaded that, I had 120 or 130 subscribers to my channel. That was it. I'd posted a few videos like news things, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew what I wanted, sort of, kind of to do, but I never got over 100, 150 views after weeks or months. And then I posted that Parker video eventually and overnight, and I didn't even look at it. I just went to bed. I had the kids with me, and I went to bed and woke up the next day, and we were going to go to Ruidoso, New Mexico, where my parents had a house up in the mountains. And I woke up and had 7,500 views. I was like, huh? I wasn't sure if people loved me or hated me. Turns out it was both, because I do have a lot of haters. Aggressive mediocrity. Agree, the dad is treated like shit in family court, even without proof. It took me years and a mountain of evidence to basically prove otherwise. I don't know why it's like that, but that's how it is. Well, yeah, I do. It's in all cases like this, you just follow the money. The family court corporation is a $1 trillion business. Hundreds of billions, or at least dozens of billions per year. But over the course of a generation, it's $1 trillion business. Follow the money. They want their money and they'll get it. Like George Carlin said, they want it all. What made me become a YouTuber? When I first made my channel in 2008, I just did it because YouTube was brand new. It'd only been around a year or two. MySpace was a big thing back then. I'd just gone into business 2003 or 4, and there was no such thing as, we had cell phones, but not like what we have today. And the internet was like, it was big, but it wasn't nearly what it is today. And there was all these new things coming up, and it was just kind of known that there's new things coming up, and you just make accounts. And so I just made a YouTube having no clue what I was doing. Where do you stand with your ex-wife? I can't talk about that. I find it, when people talk about that sort of thing, I don't know. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I guess I can say it's not ideal, but I haven't been sued since 2017. I can say that. Up to 2017, I'd been sued over and over and over and over and over and over. But since I won custody of Blaine with the right to designate his residence, I haven't been sued since then. So I can say that. Charlene Chester, I only saw it recently and was so sad the outcome, but I'm so happy to see your family happy now. Well, thank you, Charlene. Caleb is the only person on earth that knows what The Rock was cooking. Is that a Dwayne Johnson joke? I'm such a nerd because or dork. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, if I probably just lied. They're probably like rolling their eyes at me. Marky PS1. Hey, Caleb, hope all is well. It's a lot better than it used to be. Would you take $1 million or spend time with your family? I want to do both, but I gave up my life to have my family. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. 8 p.m. tonight, Father's Day. Edward's going to be on here, assuming we don't get another storm. That was a whopper. I mean, it wasn't hurricane storm, but it was reminiscent of growing up in Texas. So I'm still up playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I've heard the boys talk about that. I don't do video games. I quit playing video games when um, after I saved the princess in Super Mario Brothers. What was your reaction when you became a YouTuber? Like, were you happy? Um, I was. I mean, I posted the Parker video for a reason. I kept losing in court. I kept losing time or money or both. And I just learned that cameras don't lie. And so I just wanted to show the truth. I was happy. I mean, I wasn't happy that it had to go down that way, and I wasn't happy I had to go to jail because of it. Um, uh, I was happy that the truth got out, I guess. It was enough. I know I lived in Orlando for 7 years, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm about 2 hours south of Orlando. I just got back from Orlando. Took Hayden to the airport up there. So anyway, what's everyone else doing up this? Is it early for you or is it late for you? Because it's really early for me. And now I have no idea how long I'm going to stay on, but I was going to have coffee anyway. So I just thought I'd hop on here and just do a little chit chatting. Oops, almost put you in timeout. Didn't mean to. Do you have a favorite TV show? I dang sure do. And it's House. All 8 glorious seasons, all 250 something episodes of Dr. Gregory House. I do love Dexter as well. My new favorite as far as new TV shows is The Boys. Have y'all seen The Boys? I'm like, seriously, The Boys is going to put DC Comics and Marvel Comics in the dirt. They're raunchier than Deadpool. They're funny. It's just hilarious. Have y'all seen The Boys? Season 3 is out right now. They're putting out new episodes on Fridays, I believe. In fact, oh my gosh. Yeah, I fell asleep so early. I didn't even watch the latest episode, so I haven't seen the latest episode. JD Jennifer, hi. 3 a.m. here in PGH. Pugha. I don't know what PGH is. 3 a.m. Yeah, so you're apparently on the East Coast because it's 3 a.m. here. The Boys is the shit. It is. It's hilarious. What's cool about The Boys is it's a reflection of, obviously superpowers aren't real, but if they were, it's how it really would be. They don't edit out and make it all PG-13 bullshit. I'm actually kind of surprised that it reflects reality so well. If you take out the magical powers of it, it reflects reality. Congress, Washington, D.C., and then all of us peons, it reflects it really, really well. Mine is Law and Order SVU. That's the TV show I was trying to think of the other day, where people say I look like Christopher Maloney from SVU. That's the TV show I was trying to, or I haven't been told that in a while, but years ago, that's what I was, the SVU, that's what I was trying to remember. I used to watch SVU. I just haven't seen it in like forever. I got on to Dexter, and it was Dexter's just to me a lot better than SVU. It's have y'all seen Dexter? Any Dexter fans in here? Would you rather just stick with talking about The Boys? Because The Boys is hilarious. I hate Homelander so much, but I love his character. Oh, PGH is Pittsburgh. I know some people in Pittsburgh. Damn, The Boys is dark, and it is really good to think. Do you think Omni-Man could beat Homelander? Omni-Man? Is that a character? Did I miss something? Who's Omni-Man? The guy that they just resurrected is hell, I can't remember his name right now. They just brought him out of a coma or whatever. I haven't seen the next one. Apparently he's like the baddest of the bad. But it looks to me like old Butcher about to give old Homelander a run for his money. We shall see. I don't know. I love how The Boys takes current events and puts a magnifying glass to show how absurd some of the political BS is. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It reflects reality and how absurd it really is, but it is reality, which is exactly why I don't support politicians. Like, I don't like no political parties. Individual politicians do some good things sometimes, but I don't support their party at all, because you get involved with parties and that groupthink crap, and it just doesn't end well. I love Dexter, but got too dark for me. Oh, The Dark Passenger. No, it doesn't get too dark. John Lithgow is brilliant as the Trinity Killer. Season 3, I believe. Maybe 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. How much did your video make after all these years? From Uzlan. Well, how much do you make at your job? How much does your dad make? That's just kind of one of those questions you don't ask. It's like asking a woman her age or her weight. Yeah, okay, not Omni-Man, Soldier Boy. Yeah, Soldier Boy is the guy that they just resurrected him from the coma or the frozen thing that he was in. That's the last I saw. I haven't seen anything after that. But apparently he's a bad motherfucker. What kind of states have you been to? Like the names? Well, I was born in Texas. Been to Colorado a couple times. The greatest road trip I ever had with the kids was in Colorado. That was 2014. It was right after I got out of jail the first time. Because I got arrested in court, in family court, spent the weekend in jail, got out, took the kids up in the motorhome and took them for a week up to Colorado. We went and I took them to see, to eat at a restaurant called Casa Bonita in Denver. And Casa Bonita, for you South Park fans, is a real restaurant that South Park made an entire episode about. And for one of the boys' birthdays, I don't remember which one, Stan or Kyle or one of them, and they didn't invite Eric Cartman, and he threw a fit and wanted to go to Casa Bonita. And it's hilarious. And the kids one day told me, I'd already gotten out of jail. I said, kids, we got 10 days. We're in the Falcon. That's what we call I've got a video or two about the Falcon. It's what I call our motorhome, 30-foot motorhome. So we got 10 days. Where do you want to go? And Hayden said, can we go to Casa Bonita? I said, okay, what's Casa Bonita? You haven't seen that one, Dad? Seen what? The South Park episode, Casa Bonita. No. So he instantly pulled it up, and we watched it that night in the Falcon after I just picked him up. And of course, I laughed my ass off because it's South Park. I raised my kids on South Park. I even got to tell Judge Billingsley on the stand that I raised my kids on South Park. And so we watched it, and I said, all right, well, y'all go to bed and pack your stuff because we're heading out first thing in the morning to Casa Bonita. Really, Dad? I said, really, really, donkey. And we sure did. We got up the next morning and drove all the way up to the panhandle of Texas and spent the night at a state park there and went to the Cadillac Ranch the next morning. Parker didn't go because he was tired. He had been tired of, there's some drama. He was tired of traveling. But Blaine and Hayden and London and I all went, and we stopped by the Cadillac Ranch. And if you're not familiar with the Cadillac Ranch is, it's a private land where some old rich guy used to buy Cadillacs every year. Instead of selling the old ones, he just saved them, and they dig holes and they just stack them. You've probably seen it's been in several I don't know, country and western videos. Just a kind of it's on Route 66, a pop culture thing. It's anyway, and people stop by and they spray paint it. And anyway, so we stopped by there, and then we drove all the way to Denver, Colorado, and ate at Casa Bonita. And when we pulled up to Casa Bonita, it's looked like an Alamo type shaped building, and the sun was just setting, and we just pulled up, and that big towered up building was there. It is like a moment for the kids. And we went in, and we had the little more sopapillas. It looked just like in the cartoon, where the divers dive off and splash Cartman when they're chasing Cartman. We got to the kids that we got to go up and get right by the pool, and the divers went in and it splashed us. And then they got this one place where there's a fake jail. We had a lot of laughs about that. You get to dress up in old cowboy stuff and put on hats and, have empty whiskey bottles. I've still got the picture, and they got rubber bars, and you get to pull it back. And there's a scene where Cartman does like this at the very end before he gets caught. And so we all got to get our picture made there, and it was really, really cool. And we walked out, and the kids said, Dad, that was the coolest thing ever. And we listened to Enya on the next day, and we drove through Buena Vista, Colorado. And oh my God, Buena Vista, Colorado is absolutely gorgeous. We stayed at a KOA there. My God, it was a beautiful place. I want to say it was like May or June. So it was spring-ish. So it was a little decent warm in the day and got pretty cool at night. Oh, breathtakingly gorgeous. Oh, man. Tara Romanow, speaking of Falcon, what do you think of Elon Musk? Falcon 9 is their reusable rocket, if you didn't know. Elon's a polarizing guy. He's I've seen both arguments both ways. He's got a lot of strange names for his 8 or 9 kids, whatever he's got. Some people think he's like COINTELPRO or something like that. But as far as I follow him on Twitter, and he's talked about self-ownership, and he slams bullshit media. I think he's wasting his time with Twitter. I don't know why he didn't just throw that $44 billion into Bitcoin and just get the revolution over with. Let's just go. No, I think he's a neat guy. He's interesting. I think someone said he's autistic, which was suggested to me only a couple of years ago that I am autistic. I've not been diagnosed, but it's weird to think about. All this time, I just didn't know. And I brought that up on my Facebook that somebody had told me that it was obvious to her that I was on the spectrum. I was like, what? Really? And so I brought it up on my Facebook, and an old friend of mine, Jamie, she said, well, Caleb, we've all known. We just know. It's not bad. We just know. I was like, you motherfuckers, y'all have known this whole time and nobody told me. So that's my story on me being on the spectrum. If I am, I've not been professionally diagnosed, so I don't know. I'm going to need to go. Hope you have a good, fabulous morning and happy Father's Day. Well, thank you very much, Charlene. That place is iconic. I'm assuming you're talking about Casa Bonita. It is. And to get this, the story, I think it was last year or the year before, or maybe during the scamdemic, was Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park. They actually bought it. They own the restaurant now. So how cool is that? Those guys have got to have the coolest life ever. You know, I kind of like Elon Musk, but as far as living fun, cool lives, the South Park guys, I mean, what a life. Wow. To be able to just make a living making fun of everything. When you get into politics, they make fun of the left and the right equally, and it's hilarious to watch. Sticky Joe 105. Caleb, go to sleep. I won't do what you tell me. I've got a habit of not listening to what people tell me to do. I just woke up. Why would I go back to sleep? I've seen those when I was a truck driver. I'm assuming he's talking about why does my brain do that? I just talked about it. Cadillac Ranch. Usually I saw your community post about the weather. If you don't mind me asking, is that Okeechobee area? I'm near there. Yep. Okeechobee is a big old storm that came through. That's a big old lake. Colorado is one of the most beautiful states. Absolutely beautiful. It is. If I didn't live near the ocean, that's my next choice. The mountains. I want to see the mountain, was it the Appalachians? North Carolina? I think it's called Appalachians. I've never been to that mountain range. I think I drove like through it one time, but that was years ago and I don't really remember it. Elon is on the spectrum. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I'd heard that. High functioning. Maybe I'm high functioning. I'm not as high functioning as that guy as far as his wallet. Maybe someday. Maybe this little podcast will take off. Caleb, happy Father's Day. You deserve it. You are honoring God's purpose so beautifully. So glad you never gave up the good fight. Well, thank you, JD Jennifer. Maybe I'm honoring God. Maybe. I don't know. People tell me that sometimes. Dan and Datra got a $2 chat or super chat or whatever, a sticker or whatever it is. Regarding the parking movie, was there really a Trans Am? Okay, Dan, you asked that the other day, and I was about to get off, and I saw it like right as I ended it. I can say this. I didn't see one that day. And I came and picked up the kids, having Parker with me. I came and picked up the other cheerings every 2 weeks, about 6 more times, or 5 more times, 6 times total. And every time Parker rode with me, I get the little ones on Friday. We do our big fun Disneyland dad time on the weekend and take it back on Sunday. One time I do remember seeing something that looked like it was pulled out of a junkyard that resembled a Trans Am. Something, what's his name? Burt Reynolds would have driven. That's all I know about it. And then I never saw it again. And thank you for the $2 chip in there. Do you got any drinks to recommend? Yeah, water. Occasionally I do coffee, but water, I drink lots and lots of water. Like depending on how much I'm exercising and outside, a gallon to 2 gallons a day. But I don't drink alcohol anymore, so bleh, nothing to recommend. When you were a little kid, did you ever think that you wanted to be a YouTuber? You should visit San Diego. Dude, when I was a little kid, there wasn't such thing as the internet, not much less YouTube. Arguably, I would imagine Edward would, I think he's probably about my age. He'd probably agree. We were the luckiest generation ever, and we didn't even know it. The Gen X, I was born in 1977. There's no such thing as internet, no such thing as cell phones. We didn't know any better. Life was, fun. And I look at old pictures of when I was a kid in the 80s, rock and roll in the 90s. No such thing as internet. I think the first time I became familiar with the internet was probably about 1993 or 94. And we would download topless pictures of Pamela Anderson, and it would take, depending on your baud rate, it would take anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes to download one picture. And people would sell them and say, they'd give a description, totally worth the wait in the download. If you've got a slow baud rate of 48.8 or 4800, it'll take about 10 minutes. But if you got the new 27.7 baud rate, you can download it in like a minute and a half. It sounds so weird talking about that. The baud rate back then was what people know now as the kilobytes per second. You couldn't do a kilobyte per year back then. The baud rate was, that baud stands for something. I forget what it stands for. It was slow. There was no such thing as like streaming. We'd never heard of anything like that. Ever heard of 75 hard? I'm on day 5. Tara, are you trolling me? Because that sounds like a site. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a workout thing. No, I've not heard of it. Maybe you're not trolling me. I don't know. I'm curious how your relationship with your older boys, mine is 16 now, and we get along pretty good, but still those teenage moments kind of drive me nuts. Any advice? I'm close with all of my kids. I can't talk too much about that, but my kids aren't perfect any more than anybody in here's kids are perfect, any more than I'm perfect. We've had struggles and ups and downs, but we go with the flow, and sometimes shit happens. If you've spent their whole lives building a strong core relationship, then any hurdles you come to in the future, you've got a strong baseline. My advice was be who you are all the time. Parent, love them. Have your door open if they need to talk or want to talk about things, even if they're an uncomfortable topic. And if they make a choice that you may personally find gross or distasteful or even stupid, but it doesn't harm anyone else, you can give them your advice on, how you think it could be detrimental to your life or something like that, or, something else to think about. But ultimately, it is their choice. And as long as it's not harming anybody else, then just be okay with it, because they're going to have interests. To give a really light, shallow example, Hayden is my second oldest son. He's by far the biggest gamer. And he's always, his whole life, he's always like, he doesn't know just a lot about gaming. He knows gaming. And some of the things that interest him, and he'll just go off on talking about them. I'm like, I love you, son, but I don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. But I'm glad you like it. But you go do your gaming stuff if that's what makes you happy, and I'm gonna go do my things that make me happy because I don't want to get interested in gaming. I don't have any interest in start gaming. It's just not fun to me. But let them do what makes them happy. As long as they can pay for it when they're older, have at it. Here's somebody's talking about AOL. Where's it at? Hang on. It's moving. AOL was the first internet service and log in through landlines. Yep. America Online is what it was called. That dial-up sound. Yep. You've got mail. Okay. Thank you, Tara. I'm glad you're not trolling me. I forgot what you called it. Hard 75 something. I don't know what it is. Tell me about it. What is it? I'm here playing Red Dead Redemption 2, watching Adam 12, a show from the 60s. It's a good show. I've not ever heard of Adam 12. It's a mental toughness thing. You'd like it. Is it like an app? Like, do you read it, or is it a physical fitness thing? Hello, Puppet Master. You ever drink Arizona green tea? I have, but I don't. It's just not my thing. I drink water. Water. Or if you're a Yankee, they say water. Or no, not. Is it Yankees that say it like that? It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. Water. WARTER. Water. Always get a kick how he says that. Thank you. That's pretty much how I try to handle things. It's good to hear that from another single dad. Not a whole lot of support out there for us. Yeah, you're not. There's not. No one. There's a meme or not a meme. It's some dude talking. It's going viral right now. Like when people ask, how men are, or, if they're struggling, nobody gives a shit. How is Blaine N7TE? Great. He's great big too. He is ripped. Like 6% body fat ripped. Did you ever play any sports when you were 15 or 13 around there? I did. I played football, but I always hated it. I never got into organized sports. I liked boxing is my favorite sport of all time, and Mike Tyson is my favorite athlete of all time. And I don't even really care I don't like athletes. I just like watching him, because when it comes down to this community teamwork stuff, I've just never been a good team player. I've just always enjoyed solo. I've got personal issues with football in particular that I can't really go into, but Mike Tyson, he's just champ. There's a reason they call him the champ. He's arguably one of the most famous people in history ever, probably more famous than Elvis. If for no other reason, he's lived longer. And when it was him in that ring, it was one man and one man. And yeah, he's got coaches and he's got support all there. But when it came down to actually doing what you need to do, boxing, that's why I like boxing. I'm not an aficionado, but he's my favorite. As a single mom of a son who's 11, I always struggle between nurturing and authoritative friend or parent. It's hard to balance. It is. And you'll have a lot of people that'll say, you can't be friends with your kids. And there is a little bit of truth to it to a degree. But yeah, you can. Be the nurturer. That's what mothers do best. They're better than, in general. And this, I get, okay, call me sex or whatever. In general, mothers are better at nurturing. There, I said it. You're supposed to be nurturing. Authoritative. You can speak on authority with authority because you've got experience. But just because you are older and wiser, a wise person will instruct their child. An idiot will beat them. Music and theater girl. My grandfather had golden boxing gloves. It was for a necklace. Yeah, that was, I don't know if it's still around, but back in the day, that's called, it's called golden gloves. It was a boxing club. Copy. Paste and go. There's some newbies in here, new people in here. And there, I just started in the comment section is the link if anybody wants to hop on and chit chat. We've been talking for good grief 51 minutes, and I've only put it in the chat once. What is my favorite month? I don't have one. I just like the season changes. Everyday workout 2 times 45 minutes. Once must be outside, drink a gallon, read 10 pages of self-development book. No alcohol or cheat meals for 75 days. It's not for sale. It's free. Yeah, I would like that. You're right. You're right. That's kind of what I do now. Not specifically, surely, yeah, no alcohol. I rarely have cheat meals for no other reason. Shit's expensive nowadays. He was into boxing before he was drafted into World War II. Well, yeah, my grandfather was in World War II. I don't think he was in boxing, or if he was, he never told me about it. He died August 24th, 1994, when I was a senior in high school. Man, I miss that man. His name was Cletus Leverett, and he was a wonderful man. He was good to all of us grandkids. He sure taught us a lot. He spent a lot of time with. He's much more understanding than my own dad. JD Jennifer, I struggle with the similar issues, but I agree with Caleb. Moms are better nurturers, unless they're like my ex, LOL, total narcissistic pricks. I added that part. They are. I mean, it's just a fact. In general, moms are just more nurturing. I'd like to think of myself as a nurturer. I'm probably better than most men at nurturing kids, but when it really comes down to it, I can't hold a candle to a mother. I just can't. No matter how hard I try, I can't do it. And I dare say that's probably the case with all dads. We can do it to a degree that we're able to and willing to work for it, but there's something that they can do that, and to a far better degree be a nurturer to children, in my opinion, than dads can. That doesn't mean dads love their kids any less. Anyone who says only a mother they love better than dad, that's horseshit. Don't fear truth. What happened with your boat? Did you give up living on it? Yes, I did. I sold it. I sold it to an old man. Actually, I had to finance it, which I am really in no position to do, but it's a long story. Thought I'd, do him a solid, but he's loving it. And I loved my time on my boat, but it's time to move on. And I've got 2 kids with me, and they're all both bigger than I am. So, this little tiny house we're in, it's crowded enough. I need a top off. Actually, I'm going to put in my oat milk first. Again, because I don't drink cow pus. Just kidding. I mean, I really don't. Very little dairy at all. I am addicted to cheese, but I don't eat it very often. And for the newbies, I like showing off my sexy mug, my Chulu mug. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Amen to that. Thank you, Kayla. I'm going to mediate on that. Well, you're welcome. I'm not sure which part, but you're welcome. Music and theater girl. Mine was in the 82nd Airborne Division. He was captured on D-Day and was a POW MIA for over a year. He passed away February 2nd, 2009. I miss him every day. You obviously do miss him, or there's... If you know the day he died, he was obviously... He meant a lot to you. And just like I know the day my granddad died, it was awful. It was terrible. I miss him. I think about him a lot. You know, what would he think of me compared to the rest of the cousins, you know, the rest of his grandkids? Because I'm just like so way out there compared to the rest of my family. I'm the black sheep of black sheep. I've often wondered what he would think about me. Yes. Vegan in the chat. So high five. Well, if vegan works for you, more power to you. I tried vegan for about 8 or 10 months and it just wasn't for me. My body did not react very well to it. I do tell vegan jokes sometime in my personal life, but they're just jokes. If you want to be vegan, be vegan. I don't have a problem with it. Like, I really don't care. People like giving vegans shit, but you have to admit, a lot of vegans are very obnoxious. But not all of them. My oldest son is a deputy sheriff in Louisiana, and I'm happy to say he's not one of the corrupt and abusive officers out there. Well, that's nice to know. Good. Again, as hard as I am on cops, I have to admit, the several interactions I've had with police officers here in Florida, I know there's some corrupt ones here. I've seen the videos. I'm not naive, but the ones I've personally talked to had to interact with here, they're like chill here. They're nothing like Texas. I don't know why, but they're chill and they're de-escalators and friendly. I'm just not used to that. That's just not, in general, that's not how Texas cops are. Those two cops in the Parker movie were a rare exception. You ever played Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s or 90s? I did. I'm not very familiar. I'm about as familiar with it as I am with Zelda. I remember playing it. I remember enjoying playing it, but to actually do it, I don't remember much about it. Same. I'm not sure I'm even a sheep anymore. You've morphed over into from sheep to black sheep to something totally different. Have cops ever disrespected you or no? Well, yeah. They jailed me. One cop, you know, the trustee guard, he wound up watching my YouTube channel while I was in jail. And he had pulled me aside. I'll never forget, his name was Conrad. That was his last name, but everybody called him Conrad. Like, he told me, you know, Leverett, I went home and I watched your channel and you don't deserve to be here. I said, well, can you get me out then? Oh, no, I can't do that, obviously. I said, why not? You said I don't deserve to be here, yet here you are taking a paycheck to hold me prisoner for, you know, the rest of the 60 days. Well, I mean, I said, sucks, doesn't it? That cognitive dissonance is kicking in, isn't it? You know what you're doing is wrong. You know that, you know, yeah, I know some people in jail deserve to be there, but you also know that some people in there don't deserve to be there. So what are you going to do about it? Last time I heard, he took an early retirement. I would like to think that I messed with his head and he had to come to Jesus about the nature of what he was doing. Stand on principle, man. Either we have principles or we don't. Back in action. So I have to hear that. You raised him to be a good man then? I hope so. I agree on that. Florida cops versus Texas cops. You know, there's got to be some kind of incentive, money incentive. You know, money is a gigantic, if not the biggest, probably the biggest motivator ever. There's got to be a something that Texas cops are incentivized to do, violate civil rights on the regular, and have qualified immunity to get away with it constantly, that Florida cops generally don't. There has to be, I don't know what the difference is, but there has to be some kind of difference. Paranormal Hunters, hello, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm enjoying being here talking at 3:42 a.m. Dan and Datra, in one of your Blaine videos, I was shocked when those cops were so mean to you. I don't understand why they were like that. I don't either. Those are San Antonio cops. San Antonio cops, they're all dicks. Every single San Antonio cop I've ever had any interaction with, they are 100% gigantic cocksucking assholes. I don't like them. I've got a beef with San Antonio Police Department. If I had the means to sue those assholes, I would, but I don't. But I'd like to. Music and Theater Girl, I cannot stand it here in Texas. Not a fan. Moved here from Ohio for a teaching position in 2010. Didn't know a soul and got stuck here. I feel you, girl. If you can get out, get out. Texas has some nice places. There are some nice people there, but family court wise, it's no secret. It's an open secret. It's horrible. It's the worst in the country. And it's been run by Republicans for like 30 or 40 years. And coming from a Republican background, of which I'm not anymore, I've got a lot of Republican friends, because there's a reason Republicans run it, because the people vote in Republicans. And then I've got all these fathers, mostly fathers, that live in Texas that complain about the family courts, and they religiously vote for these Republican assholes. Not saying that the Democrat counterpart is going to do any better whatsoever, because I don't think they will at all. But I talked to them, why in the world do y'all constantly harp and whine about Texas, knowing full well how corrupt the family court is there, and you still say, get out and vote Republican, get out and vote Republican, we got to save the Republic, it's going to turn blue if we don't. Like, maybe it should turn blue for a little bit, and you'll realize there's no difference. The Republicans of Texas have made the family court the way it is. They're solely responsible. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's one of those cognitive dissonance things, but they got to wake up. It's just a shitty place to be. Money and overblown authority. Yep, they get on. Hold that though, Caleb. I'm not sure what he means there. How much money do you usually get from working on YouTube? How much money do you make? How much does your dad make? How much does your mom weigh? What's her favorite sex position? That's just, and I'm not trying to be rude, but this is a teaching moment. You just don't ask certain questions like that. It's considered rude in most cultures. And I know a lot of millennials don't get this. Sometimes they say things and they're not trying to be rude, but that is generally considered a rude question. It's about as rude as me asking, how much your mom weighs. It's akin to that. I don't talk about it. Totally normal, bro. I live in Nebraska. The only thing we get is fields and hobos. Okay. I've heard Nebraska is very boring, but sometimes when you've gone through the shit that I've gone through, boring is actually quite fun. Boring can be relaxing. It can be boring because it's boring, but being, sometimes maybe being in Nebraska is, a relaxing thing because you don't have some of the stresses that bigger places have. Exactly. The politicians will only side where their money is. Left, right, it doesn't matter. Yep. And with aggressive mediocrity's profile picture, I would imagine I'm just guessing, you're probably at least familiar with anarchism. The A word. Okay, I assume she's going on about how corrupt Texas is. Or agreeing with me on how it is. Yep, those Republicans, they've been running the show. And Ken Paxton, he's about to win re-election. He won the runoff. He's up for re-election again. Deadbeat Ken Paxton, the one that's been screwing me over for years, holding my account. No, I'm an atheist. Okay, atheist. I'm agnostic, so nice to meet you. I've thought many times of returning to Orlando. I've been to Orlando a few times. I just don't know a whole lot about it. I wouldn't object. Be hell, it's still anywhere in Florida is better than Texas. It's an atheist symbol. Okay. Well, lots of anarchists are atheists. I'm just simply not atheist. Just agnostic. Well, kiddies, we've crossed the 1 hour mark, and my coffee's almost done. I'm gonna have to pee for too long, anyways. So I might just hop off here. Wasn't sure if people would want to get on. I suspect a lot of you are drunk and hungover, and you don't want to reveal yourselves. Yeah. One of these days, all you drinkers, y'all gonna learn one way or another the road to nowhere with that damn alcohol. But I guess I'm gonna hop off here. Y'all been a lively little bunch for so late/early. Thanks for the chat. I thoroughly enjoy it. I have a major beef with Greg Abbott, old Hot Wheels, and all of his nonsense he spews, especially after Uvalde. It could have been worse. He said that? Seriously? How could it have been any worse? He's literally the boss. Y'all want to talk about Uvalde? And well, speaking of, shit talking cops, that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. They were tasing parents who simply wanted to rush in and save their kid. And 20 people lost their lives. And all these big, brave men with all these taxpayer-funded freebie armed to the teeth and, bulletproof vests just standing out there waiting on backup. What kind of a bitch move is that? That's like a dude taking a girl out and someone attacking his girl and saying, well, babe, policy says, and it makes sense to me that there's two of them and there's only one of me. So I'm going to call and wait on backup, wait for my bros to get here before I defend you. That was a bitch move. And if Greg Abbott actually said that it could have been worse, how in the world could that have possibly been any worse than it was? Yeah, some heads need to roll over that. Who was that said clean and sober 11 years? JD Jennifer, clean sober 11 years. Congratulations. That is amazing. I can't wait to get to 11 years. He said it. Wow. Okay, I don't know how he survives re-election. If he actually said that, I don't see how he, and I'm not doubting you. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't see how he, of course, then again, people have a very, very short attention span. But I'm glad I'm gonna find the clip where he said that because I love rubbing that shit in politicians' noses. Angelina McDonald, those cops need to be charged. It is unbelievable. Yes, they do. They need to be held responsible. They won't, but they need to be. And yes, I'm in the had a few side. I suspected. One of these days, y'all gonna learn. Put that damn bottle down. They put on that uniform for situations like that, then act like pussies when it comes to it. Yep, truth hurts. Those are a bunch of cowards. Every single one of those cops in Uvalde that let that happen, 100% pure cowards. Absolutely unbelievable. That mom that finally broke past their barrier and went and got her two kids, I can't remember her name. I wish I did. She's the hero. Those are the heroes of that whole thing. Ooh, here's a loaded one. Stevie 6732. Alcohol isn't that bad. Just don't drink too much. Doesn't tank your testosterone like weed, at least. A lot of idiots drink, but it's not the alcohol's fault. Dumb is dumb, smart is smart. Alcohol is okay. Well, you can go collect your check from Budweiser or Jack Daniels or whoever paid you to say that and troll my page with that kind of horse crap. But okay, whatever you say. Yeah, just go have some more of that. That sweet child used the blood of her friend laying dead next to her and covered her own face with it, so the killer thought she was already shot. A fourth grader. Yep, that little girl's brave. That girl's got more. That little girl's got um, more bravery in her pinky than all, however many dozen, 20, however many of those armed to the teeth cops that were out there that just let it all happen. It's almost as if someone told them to do that. It's almost as if this crap is kind of set up. It's almost as if they want it to happen this way. It's almost as if there's an agenda. Better not get too much into uh, conspiracy theories. I like how you always never give up. You will always work really hard with YouTube. And I know that cops are mean, but I don't know why they're like that. They should respect people and be nice to others. Well, they should. That's just not usually reality. Oh, man. Have y'all been watching Bitcoin? Holy moly. I'm going to be real with you. Drinking is darn good, but that shit can mess up. Well, it's fun. I'm not saying alcohol's not fun. Hell, I think most people are conceived in the womb in America, or maybe elsewhere as well. But I think most Americans are conceived while mommy and daddy are tanked up. It is fun. There's a reason people do it because it's fun. But so is mushrooms. But there's no horrible side effects. Weed's fun to some people. I don't like it, but it's fun to a lot of people. If nothing else, it chills people out. I mean, you don't see people getting in brawls when they're all stoned, but you see drunken brawls all the time. YouTube pastime. It breaks my heart. I've sat in lockdowns with my classes before, and the genuine terror you see on the kids' faces is so sad. If you're a teacher, you would know. I bet you have. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna look up Bitcoin. I just got a notification. Bitcoin is down again. $18,400. Bitcoin's down to $18,400. Wow. What's even more wow is I remember talking about Bitcoin and people even chipping in. Did y'all know back when the Parker movie came out in 2013, people were chipping in, like donating to me half a Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin at a time? But back then, Bitcoin was worth $20. One Bitcoin was worth $20, maybe 40, depending. It changes every day, obviously. But I thought, oh, that's really kind of you. You sent me $20. I mean, it's a nice gesture. But back then, one Bitcoin, that wasn't life-changing money. You don't see anybody donating one whole Bitcoin nowadays, do you? And all the Bitcoin haters are going to just, they're loving this right now. They are jumping all over. See, I was right. I told you Bitcoin is it's just internet money and it's worthless. And they do it every time. It's a cycle. It's going to cycle like this. It always will until enough time goes by when the cycles can like chill out and level out. This whole was predicted. The halving, it's programmed in the it's in the program. It's Bitcoin's going to have again, like cut in half, spring of 2024. It happens every 3 years and 10 months. And all a halving is the reward for mining it gets cut in half. That's all that means. And it's about every 4 years. Here's alcohol lover. So what's so bad about alcohol outside of the society we live in? I'm not trolling. My previous comment was sincere. Okay, well, maybe so. It's obviously not healthy, but I honestly don't think it per se is a huge deal. Well, what's outside of alcohol? What is so bad about it? It's expensive. It does nothing for your health. It doesn't make you live longer. It doesn't heal your organs. It makes you obviously do things that you wouldn't normally do. You make children you probably wouldn't want to make children with. You have sex with people that you probably wouldn't normally have sex with. With many people, you get more agitated and violent in certain situations than you would if you weren't. I don't think there's an alcoholic alive that ever looks back and said, you know what, I really, I had some, the times were just way better than this, failing liver that I've got. I don't know any of them that say that. I think alcohol will fill you full of regrets. I don't care how tough you think you are. One of the funniest things I see is these tough guys, and they're almost always men. These tough guys say how much they could drink and they never passed out. They never had a hangover. They never forgot anything. And it is bullshit. That's the machismo, macho man, small pecker type talking right there. You do forget things. You forget. I know, I'm sure there's different varying degrees of how much, a seasoned vet, if they drink a lot and they can handle their alcohol, but who wants to brag about that? Who wants to say, I drink so much that I can keep out functioning everybody else that's still functioning? It's just, what's the point? You forget things and you're going to look back and you're going to wish you had that time back. I do. I miss the times I blacked out. I miss the time some time with my kids, even though most of my drinking was after they gone to bed because I did use it to go to sleep. I don't know what happened, so I missed out on it. And that's why I rail against it. And there will never be ever a sponsor on this that will from an alcohol company that say, hey, we want to sponsor you, because I won't accept it because it's crap. I'm really going to sign off now. Questions getting too weird, a bit off the wall. See you at 8, man. All right, take care, brother. See you tonight at 8. Yeah, it's kind of a late night thing, early morning thing. Laughter eats your soul, not to mention you more likely to get taken advantage of while drunk. It happens pretty often. Yeah. Hell yeah, it happens. That absolutely. You're off your rocker. You do things, you flirt with other people you would normally flirt with, and you make yourself vulnerable and give off weird signals. And by definition, legally, it's consent and not a good look. It's not, it just doesn't, ultimately the short run benefits and joys of alcohol are not worth the long run pain. The cost, what it makes you fat, does not build muscle at all. It's just not worth it, man. To me. Mr. Fink says hello. JD Jennifer. Find a room with an AA meeting and walk in and ask them that question. What's so bad about alcohol? Good point. Yeah. You'll have a list. You'll have a lot of people there that'll keep you there all night later than I'm here. They'll go on and on and on just as much as I am on what absolute horseshit alcohol is. It doesn't build muscle. I mean, look at America. I'm not fat shaming. I'm not a fat shamer. I'm just saying, but America's fucking fat. Just not for me. I like building muscle. I like keeping my brain functioning. I like remembering things. I like being able to move and, not have to have a wheelchair when I mean, there's people my age. I'm only 45. There's people my age with walkers. And I know that there's injuries. I get all that, but there's some people they've had so much alcohol. You can see it in their skin. Their skin is weird. That I don't know. It's drinkers know what I'm talking about. Hello, Faye Teeter. Hey, Caleb. Happy Father's Day. Hope you have a great one. God bless you, Faye. Well, happy Father's Day, Faye, to the special fathers that are in your life. All right. It really is getting late for a lot of people, and I've been saying I was going to let y'all go. Oh, look here. Aggressive mediocrity chipped in $5 for the coffee fund. Cool. Well, thanks, man. Cheers to the $5 chip in there from aggressive mediocrity. And I get to show you again my Chulu mug that my friend Jayla makes. She hand makes these. If it wasn't full, I would show you all the bottom. Romany Rose Pottery, if y'all want to look it up. Hell, I'm about done with it anyway. It's getting cold. I'm about done with it anyway. It's getting cold. I'm just going to pour it in here. I'll show you. Yeah, don't want cold coffee. Oops. See if that'll show up. Let me take that off here. There. Romany Rose Pottery. She's on Etsy. She's got an Etsy store. Her name is Jayla, and she's amazing. She's just a good human being. All right, I'm going to sign off. It's only 4 a.m. It's not late. It's early. Well, it's early to me. It's real early. So anyway, y'all take care. Don't hit your cheerings. See y'all tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Edward on, and we're going to talk to him about his story. If you've enjoyed this or any of my videos or chats, let your friends and family know, because it helps me out, because I'm about to roll over 500,000 subscribers, and I'm not getting, to my opinion, the reflection as far as the people in here. However, it is really nice when there's not a lot of people here, and I can see everybody in here. Omar Garcia, I remember you, the son from and mom video. Yep, that's me. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Take care. Bye.